Okay, hey everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and demo how to complete this nose onto this grid over here. Now, first thing you're gonna wanna do is go ahead and tackle the value scale. In the last video, I showed you guys how to do that, so please make sure that you are watching that video to tackle that first. I'm not going to show it just because I've already recorded it. So right now, we're just gonna tackle the nose down here. And just like last time, we're going to number these 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. That way we're making it a little bit easier on ourselves. Typically how I like to start is by doing a really quick light sketch of my facial feature before using any of the other materials that are a little bit more harsh. This is going to be easy to take off. And so I'm going to go in and I'm going to start adding some of the details. So I notice this right here, this is all of this shadow there. So over here we see a lot more shadow. I'm going to go in and I'm just going to be adding in a circle motion just some of the value here. Just like that. That's kind of like briefly what I'm looking at. Right here towards the center, I see that on the fourth box, we get one of the nostrils. And then we have that right there. Right here in the intersection of the line, there's a bit of space. And then we get the other nostril. And then right below that, this is where we get the Cupid's bow. Something like that. And so then these are a little bit more relaxed. And again, this is just a really quick sketch, so we might end up changing it a bit, all right? First, what I'm noticing is that there are going to be these nostrils. They're slightly darker, so I'm going to go in just a little bit lightly with this one. It's darker, but I'm still going in with a little bit of pressure behind my pencil. I'm not going to be adding too much. And this is just to get the initial shadow in the nostril. This is just going to make it way easier when I start adding the rest of these shadows to not get it mixed up with the shadow in the nostril versus the ones on top of the nose. So I'm going to go like this. So something like that, okay? Just want it slightly darker. Now I'm going to go back with this one and I'm going to start adding all of my value here. We get some on the nose. So over here, and go in just to make that edge slightly darker. I'm going right here. We have shadow here. We have shadow here. Some shadow here. Got some shadow here. And we definitely have some shadow over here. Now I know that this is looking a little bit, you know, still like a rough sketch. I'm actually going to go in with this guy and I'm going to start smudging out some of my shadows. Now I'm noticing that the darkest shadow is right here. So I'm going to go into this area first. I'm going to start smudging this out. Smudging. This might be a bit of a builder. And just like we did last time, I moved mine to the side. Okay. And so we're noticing over here. Okay. Now, I will say that I do have a smaller, right, blending stump. So I'm actually going to use this one for the inside of the nostrils. So I'm going to go in inside of the nostrils, inside of the nostrils. So right now we have a good, nice build. We're going to go in and start adding in those darker shadows. So for me, one of the darkest shadows we see on this side of the nose. So I'm going to go in with the hatching technique. I'm just making a whole bunch of lines. You can see it kind of goes right in there. With the hatching technique, I'm still going in this way. And of course, once we bring out the blending stump, it's going to be more like smudged out. And so we shouldn't be able to see so much of the hatching lines. But that's the way I like to kind of apply it with the charcoal pencil. If you wanted to go in and apply the charcoal pencil in the smudging technique, you totally can do that too. There's no rules against it. I just like going in between both. Okay, over here, I'm gonna make it slightly darker. All right, I'm gonna go in, make this top portion slightly darker too. This portion slightly darker as well. Right here. Yeah, and so then we're gonna go ahead and we're going to start adding some of that shadow right here that we're noticing. This is again in the hatching technique. I'm gonna add some of the shadow right here. And I'm gonna go ahead and grab the lighter one and I'm gonna start building over here, going in a circle as well. And I'll even go overlapping the charcoal pencil area that I place. And then over here too, so that it's a nice little more natural gradation. Okay, and now from here I'm going to grab this blending stump. It's slightly smaller. I'm going to get the inside of the nostrils first. Inside of the nostrils first. Okay, I'm going to start blending out here. I'm also going to concentrate that shadow right here on the edge of the nose. And then with the residue that I currently have on my blending stump, I'm actually going to start blending it out slightly this way so it looks a little more natural. Even though it doesn't extend out that much, I'm going to extend it out just so that for me it looks a little bit more natural. With the residue that I have in here, I'm going to go in and I'm going to start adding this nostril right over here. And then I'm going to add some of that shadow that I'm seeing. Okay. Over here, we are going to start building. I'm going to start building. And I am blending with my stump in a circle motion just so that it looks a little bit more seamless, a little more natural. Okay. I'm going to come over here. And this is where the darker part of that Cupid's bow is. And then I'm going to go in with this one. Trying to blend it out. Blend it out. Okay. I'm going back in with this charcoal pencil. Now I'm going to go in slightly darker because now we've built up the shadows well enough to start adding. In that way and that way. And I'm actually going to go in with the eraser. Now you guys have the kneaded erasers. I accidentally forgot to bring mine. So with the kneaded eraser, we're going to go in and we're going to start adding the highlights. There's a highlight right here by the nostril. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to start adding that right here. Now my highlight is coming out a little bit more thick than that one. That's totally fine because I can actually go in with the blending stump and then I can make it slightly smaller, just whatever I need it to be. It's gonna work out. So over here I also see one right above the nostril and then right below it too. Kind of looks like that. Then we see right here that little curvature. That's the button of the nose. Then we kind of go slightly upward, just like that. Slightly upward. And again, we want it to look natural, so if it looks like you took too much from it, we can just go back in with the blending stump and kind of blend out so there are no